The oil deal that replaced gold.
How a 1974 secret agreement gave America 50 years of financial dominance, and why it's ending now. How a 1974 secret agreement gave America 50 years of financial dominance, and why it's ending now. The consequences will reshape the global economy. Era 1, the petrodollar is born in crisis. Era 2, the system works, dollars flow, vote. Era 3, cracks emerge as new powers rise. Era 4, the ghost network strains under change.
In 1971, America broke its promise to the world. All were backed by gold. The dollar was no longer backed by gold. An American attempts in something the whole world needed every single day: oil.
This is the story of the most consequential deal nobody taught you. And right now, in 2026, for the first time in 50 years, that deal is breaking. Quick recap, because this story starts exactly where our Bretton Woods documentary ended. In 1944, the world agreed. Every currency pegs to the dollar pegs to gold, at exactly $35 per ounce, one chain, the whole world on it. For 27 years it worked. Then America started spending money it didn't have. European countries noticed. France noticed first. President de Gaulle began sending ships to America, literal ships, to exchange paper dollars for physical gold. Other countries followed. The gold was leaving Fort Knox faster than anyone wanted to admit publicly. By August 1971, the maths had become impossible. On a Sunday evening, the US president went on television and said 5 words that ended an era. The question that nobody had answered. So America made a deal. In 1974, Treasury Secretary William Simon flew to Saudi Arabia. What was agreed in those meetings has never been fully published. But the outcome shaped every dollar in your wallet, since gold backed the dollar for 27 years. Oil would back it for the next 50. And oil, unlike gold, had to be purchased constantly, every single day, by every country on Earth. Chapter 3, The Recycling Machine, 1974 to 1990. As environmental awareness grew, recycling programs expanded. In Bevinspinstalen, by 1990s, machines were transforming waste into resources. Here is the part of the petrodollar story that almost nobody explains, and it's the part that makes it genuinely elegant as a financial architecture. Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states are now receiving billions of dollars every year for their oil, so what do they do with them? What do you do when you have more money than you can spend? They invest them. And where do they invest them? In the safest, most liquid asset in the world, denominated in the same dollars they just received, US Treasury bonds. This is petrodollar recycling, and it does something remarkable for America. It creates a permanent global buyer for US government debt, which means America can borrow at lower interest rates than any other country on Earth. Every time you hear a politician debate the US national debt, they are debating the downstream consequence of a deal made in 1974. The petrodollar it doesn't just fund America, it integrates the Gulf states and becomes genuinely dangerous for both sides. Every time you hear a politician debate the US national debt, they are debating the downstream consequence of a deal made in a desert before. The petrodollar doesn't just fund America, it integrates the Gulf states into the downstream financial systems for both sides. The loop also benefits the oil producers. Their dollar reserves grow. They park money in New York, London, Zurich. They buy real estate, equities, infrastructure across. The petrodollar doesn't just fund America. It integrates the Gulf states into the Western financial system so deeply that unwinding it is dangerous for both sides. Now, the question every critical thinker asks: what happens to a country that tries to sell oil in a different currency? Let's look at the data. This chapter is not about conspiracy. It is about documented historical events and their financial context. In November 2000, Saddam Hussein and Iraq would sell its oil in euros. The US-led coalition invaded Iraq. Within weeks of the invasion, Iraqi oil sales were switched back to dollars. In 2009, Muammar Gaddafi proposed a gold-backed African currency, the gold Middle East. In 2011, a NATO-backed intervention removed him from power. Iran has sold oil in euros, yuan, and barter arrangements since US sanctions blocked dollar access. Iran remains the most comprehensive financial sanctions of any country in which he runs the world. In 2009, Muammar Gaddafi proposed a gold-backed African currency, the gold dinar, for oil transactions across Africa and the Middle East. In 2011, a NATO-backed intervention removed him from power. Libya's gold reserves, reportedly 43 tons, were subsequently unaccounted for. The proposal died. Case Study 3, Iran ongoing. Whether this is cause, effect, or coincidence depends on which analysts you read, but the pattern exists. This documentary takes no political position on any of these events. We are documenting the architecture. What you do with that information is your own decision. This is why the petrodollar is called the most consequential deal nobody taught you. For decades, the petrodollar system had no serious challenger. Then the 2008 financial crisis happened, and the world watched America nearly collapse the global economy with its own financial architecture. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, began moving an economic talking shop towards something more structural. They created their own development bank. 2013, China's U.S. Treasury holdings peak. 2025, China's U.S. Treasury holdings. 2024, Saudi Arabia's agree holders. 2024, Saudi Arabia begins accepting yuan for 2024, Saudi Arabia's exclusive dollar oil agreement ended. The deal made in 1974 after 50 years is no longer exclusive. This does not mean the petrodollar is dead. The dollar still represents approximately 80% of global oil transactions. But exclusively dollars and 80% dollars are structurally very different things. And the direction of travel is the first sustained reversal in 50 years. Chapter 6, the de-dollarization question, 2024 to 2026. Here is where we separate the documented from the speculated. Because de-dollarization is a word that gets used by serious economists. What is documented and measurable? The dollar's share of global reserves fell from 71% to 56% E5. India and Russia settled oil trades in rupees and rubles in 2020-24. The BRICS nations discussed a common settlement currency at their 2023 and 2024 summits. At the 2023 and 2024 summits, we discussed a common settlement currency. No agreement has been reached yet.
Indeed, what is not yet documented or measured? The impact on our domestic economies.
A replacement for the dollar as primary reserve currency does not exist. The yuan, not freely convertible, controlled by the Chinese government, cannot function as a reserve currency in its current form. The dollar's decline in share, gradual, over decades. The architecture is shifting, not collapsing. The difference matters, both for understanding history and the most honest summary of where we are in 2026. The petrodollar system that replaced the gold standard in 1974 is no longer exclusive or inevitable.
Markets steady as uncertainty grows. Chapter 7, what this means for your money, all countries. Let's talk about how this affects you.
Why does any of this matter if you are not a central banker or a hedge fund manager? 3 direct connections to ordinary life. In every country this channel reaches. If you are in the UK, the pound's value relative to the dollar affects the price of your energy, your petrol, and a significant portion of your imported goods. A weaker dollar, which a diminished petrodollar system might eventually produce, could mean a relatively stronger pound, but it could also mean higher oil price volatility, since the stabilizing effect of dollar-denominated pricing would be reduced.
India's decision to settle some oil trades in rupees is a direct attempt to reduce this exposure. Whether it succeeds at scale determines how insulated the Indian economy becomes from dollar fluctuations.
The cost of US government debt rises, which means either higher taxes, reduced government services, or more money printing. The petrodollar is not an abstract geopolitical concept. It is part of why your mortgage rate is what it is. If you are in Switzerland or in any country that holds dollar reserves, the question of reserve diversification is one your central bank is actively managing right now.
Chapter 8, the 3 futures, 2026 and beyond.
Historians describe what happened. Analysts describe what is happening. The honest job of this documentary ends there. The dollar remains the primary reserve currency. Petrodollar erosion is real but slow, 20 to 30 years of gradual shift. The US maintains enough geopolitical and economic weight that alternatives don't reach critical mass. The architecture bends, it does not break. No single currency replaces the dollar. Instead, regional trading blocs settle in their own currencies, yuan in Asia, euro in Europe, rupee in South Asia. Central bank digital currencies, which the Bank of England, ECB, Fed, and People's Bank of China are all developing, are poised to trigger a digital reset. Create a new settlement layer that bypasses the dollar system entirely for some transactions. Not a currency replacement, a plumbing replacement. The architecture changes below the visible level. All 3 are possible. All 3 are being planned for simultaneously. The architecture is genuinely uncertain, for the first time since 1974.
You have now watched 60 minutes of financial architecture. If this channel is giving you clarity that you are not getting anywhere else, subscribe now. It takes 2 seconds, and it tells me to keep building this for you. 3 things the petrodollar teaches us.
Every financial architecture needs an anchor. Gold was one, oil was another. What comes next will be whatever the world decides after Bretton Woods. The petrodollar has lasted 50.
The Bretton Woods system shaped global finance. But what comes next? Fragmented global order. Scenario 2, renewed cooperation. Scenario 3, sustainable aligned system order. Scenario sinem into something like.
In 1944, the Bretton Woods Conference shaped the modern financial world. Today, 3 futures are possible. Scenario 1, new digital currency. Scenario 2, dollar dominance with volatility. Scenario 3, a fragmented economy. Comment below.